Okay, I have to remember that. Yeah, actually that will work. Okay, both snipers are dead. Helpers will focus fire on the heavy machine guns. Actually, the one that's damaged. Oh, right, because I fucking forgot that they shouldn't get minuses to AC. But they also do not get bonuses to anything because they managed to reassess their position. Okay, so the helpers are trying to hit them, so 2 attacks. That's a hit, 1 hit, and that's a miss. They're firing with laser rifle, that's 4, that translates to 1 point. So 1 is damaged, very close to death, but doesn't change the fact. Okay, the one remaining elite, he will fire with mag rifle onto one of the helpers, and he actually misses. Fucking mongrel, and he doesn't get bonus from full cover because that's the only action he can do. The heavy machine guns guys, they will, both of them will also switch to distortion cannons, and they will move in. Oh right, I forgot. Actually, no, this is like the extent of help I can get. Yeah, so we'll try to fire and take out the helpers. So that's 1 attack. That's a hit, and the second guy attacks the second guy. That's also a hit. So they will probably die. So that's 1, that's 2, or even 4. Yeah, that's 5 in total. And that's 8, that's 2. Okay, so yeah, both of them. Actually, one of them gets heavily damaged, bleeding out and whatnot, but he doesn't immediately get pulverized. The other one, however, gets absolutely annihilated. So those were these guys. Okay, seeing that his boss is in trouble, and that they are dying, the Psionic will risk it. As in, he will risk the wrath of his boss, considering that his boss is close to dying. And from his hiding spot, well, he also has Discipline, Teleporter, and Blink, so yeah, he will use his move action to make a melee attack, he will use his main action to use a melee attack, and he will also use his instant action to make a melee attack.
All on me?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because it's like suddenly nothing personnel, kid, and then he's not a nemesis though, so but he does get, yeah, you have defensive stance, so alright, and he is still actually you're surprised. He's attacking you not with stun button, he's attacking with a nano knife. Or maybe you are not surprised, but yeah, I'm saying he's attacking with nano knife. So 3 attacks.
So, given that I'm in defensive, do I still get that +2 from?
Yeah.
Okay. And remember, he is -2.
Right, because of the
Teleportation thing.
teleportation. Okay. Oh, he has the same thing, but he only has like a level 1, so. Okay, so he rolls with +6, not +8 in that case. So that's 1 attack. That's a fucking miss. That's a second attack. And that's a third attack.
Wonderful.
Wow! The dice is in your favor tonight.
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah, he wasted it all, and he's now visible. He's not in cover, and he's fucked.
He teleports behind me and goes stab, 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 stab. I
Nothing
turn around
breaks
and be like,
through.
I turn like, stop.
Fuck. Okay, Wedge, your turn.
Alright. Let's see, just gonna focus on the one in the back.
Yeah, that one is the most damaged.
Yeah.
And yeah, he doesn't get cover and whatnot, so you hit him like you roll with full modifier.
Ooh, 19.
Okay, that hits. And the damage is enough to take him out.
3 die for the goo.
5, so that's still 1, but that one is just enough to take out that fucker. And the Freyda you can use on the last remaining elite, and that's also enough to take him out. As we are fine, like with like this, the beams of laser energy just like sail through the air and they nail 2 of these guys. Okay, your move action.
Alright. The jump behind cover.
Okay. Make a skill check. Okay, yep, you have full cover. Alright, so Ivo.
I can use my Frey Die first, right? I think it's any time.
You cheeky fucker. Actually, let me double check that.
Okay.
That's correct, because in vanilla that's an on turn action, so you can use it anytime during your turn.
Well, I failed anyways.
Yeah, I was like, okay, roll a 1 and that still can work, and yes. Okay,
Then
that's your free die.
I will go for the leader. Good ol'
With your
fucker.
rolls, that's a miss, even with his like lowered AC.
Yes. However,
Let me guess,
I
you have
will
something
take.
that's... Oh right,
No,
because yeah, exchanging blows.
I will actually take the I hit, but I get -4 penalty to my next melee attack against the targeted enemy.
Okay, that's also fair.
Assuming they will survive until then.
Yeah, so they will survive. Okay. Yeah, I mean, after he failed that second clash, I was like absolutely sure that he's no way that he can pull off the win, but still. Okay, and that damage is enough to take him out. How does that look like? How does the great, or rather the dreaded Captain Kruger of the High Sky response team gets taken out?
I take my foot, and even though I really don't have to, I kind of like kick him to push him off the spear through his chest, and then I twirl it and go to take his head off with it. Just shearing through his armor, which is probably dented and damaged by this point anyways.
Yeah. Okay. And he continues to laugh and roar with battle cries until the very end.
Then I'll turn around and look at the one the psychic who tried to stab me in the back, and I'll say, "Brother, you are free."
Okay, normally I will make them for on their turn, but let's see morale check. Seeing what just happened, they will have like massive penalties.
It's like you don't have to go back. You're free.
Oh yeah. I would say that it's slightly more complicated than just
Well, certainly,
like
but
willing service, but seeing what happens. Actually, we'll see, because that's your turn. Kruger is dead. Their helpers are bleeding out. Elites are dead. The Wolfpack, he will use both of his main and move action to escape, as he's trying to evacuate. And he will, just to make this simpler, he's just making an evasion saving throw. And if he fails, you will be able to punish him by making like just damage rolls, because you will just hit him.
which one is this? The psychic behind, well, next
No,
to
no,
me.
no. The heavy machine gun, the automatic matter forge guy is like trying to run, and he failed the saving throw. So both of you can pick up like weapon and damage him with it if you want to.
Could I, in theory, just throw the tunnel clinic? I guess that would wouldn't work. Because you technically can't throw it.
Yeah, basically he's taking the punishment and hoping he can survive it.
I don't have a
while
ranged
escaping.
weapon, so that's up to Simon if he wants to.
Oh, better safe than sure. Or better safe than sorry. And I'm third.
Okay, you can just roll straight damage of your weapon. I'm not sure if you'll be able to kill him, but we'll see.
Oh damn.
With 11, that's okay. He will be heavily. Actually, that would translate to 4, but the escape says that he gets like half of the roll damage, so he gets hit by 2. So he gets hit, but he survives and he escapes. And the psionic, because he's a teleporter,
Fucks off.
yeah, he just like teleports out. Although there's this moment that you can see that he's like trying to do that, so I will still have to make him roll for the escape action. And assuming you want to stop him and or like hurt him, he will make a skill check based off like his teleportation psionic based. And ooh, I think it will be a tough call to stop and damage him in time.
Yeah, I won't try. I won't even like try to stop him, kind of thing. Like I'm letting him go. There aren't many of us.
You are free, brother.
Be free!
It's like, you are now free, and then I don't attack him after he tried to murder me. Like, straight up. Nano knife and all.
Yeah. Okay, that concludes the combat. You have won against the Captain Kruger and his Wolfpack. And I imagine like several moments later, one of the allies like, are we good? Are we good? Everyone alive? Oh, fuck me. Because there's like still several dead bodies of your allies that get like slaughtered during the combat that try to help you.
About that.
Ivo, Wedge, Sir, or rather, not captain, but like, yeah, go ahead, sir.
Actually, not even that. I'll just start teleporting around instead, because that takes too much effort.
Yeah,
But
those that
anyone who can be healed, I'll start healing up.
Okay, so you'll be able to.
Because I do have
yeah.
major organ restoration, so I can bring them back from the brink.
Yeah, so you'll be able to save 5 of them, but the other 7 were are just beyond the point of saving.
It's just been too long, kind of thing.
Partially too long, and partially that they got just murderized to the point that yeah, it's not really possible to save them. Even
I can do it by people. I can do it by people that are dropped with heavy weapons.
Within 1 round per level of Vibe Psionic
Yes.
skill. What's your Vibe Psionic skill?
2. So that's why most of them are probably it's been too long.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, that makes sense then. That it's too long.
Silly.
Yeah, you guys
If
alive?
Simon were to get his head cut off, I could fix him up.
Yeah, you guys alive? Yeah, you hear like people, those same like allies that you let here, calling out to you. It is still a lot of smoke, so they might not see you that well.
More than the other guys.
That
think
was
all
a close one.
I think all the groups have finished. Should we move out?
Yeah. Order everyone back from the tower. Should we, if the math was right, it should fall safely, but you never know with these things, especially after those previous explosions.
Even if it falls to the side, it's still upper city. Fuck him. But we should
Yes,
probably
don't
move.
want it to fall on us though.
Yeah, we can move a little further away. Okay, I'm gonna call the other guys. Like, guys, move out! Like, leave this place. We gonna be making demolition. Oh yeah, and the remaining allies that have like were placing the bombs, they'll start evacuating the area. Through the radio, as you like enter the surface, like more communication starts going through, like pull back, like clear the area, and like the fight was still raging on because this was still like a military base and there's like plenty of guys all around and soldiers. But like yeah, your revolutionaries begin pulling out and disengaging from combat. And I'd say that yeah, without much issue, you can not leave this place, but retreat to a safer distance, where you can observe the fireworks. Who does the honors? Or is it like, have you told them to like make it on timer, or have you actually have a detonator? It's up to you.
I mentioned Simon has the detonator.
Yeah.
Okay, so who does the honors?
I'll give it to Ivo. He's the psychic. He might want to do this better than more than me.
Okay, Ivo, holding detonator in your hands, you have an instinctual feeling that this is like a great blow to the oppressors, like it will decapitate the tyrannical government. But something
I have something that you might like.
Huh?
This is a long one.
Yeah, but what's your level?
2.
Okay, 1 week into the future.
What happens if I push this button?
Okay, the tower in a great and terrible conflagration will turn into a molten slag of metal. It will fall down, and actually your math was correct. It will collapse on itself, and obviously it will like destroy surrounding area because this is still a very large structure. But it will not fall on you, and you will see and feel this sense of pride and like vengeful enjoyment as the symbol of power that once tried to control you, to mold you, is reduced to nothing but rubble. But as the vision continues, you do also know that this is not the end. This is merely the beginning. This is the start of your revolution, because it will turn out that just because you destroyed one building, this will not automatically mean that every enemy, every soldier of the government will just lay down their arms and join your side. This is a great victory, make no mistake, but this is the start of your revolution, not the end of it.
And then you'll just see Ivo smile and hit the button. That was partly to check to make sure we didn't actually get crushed by the tower, because that would have been hilarious, but disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I figured you'd like that too.
yeah. So yeah, that's how I describe it. This happens. There's like a actually there's not even like actually yeah there will be like a bright flash as from the like up underground tunnels. There's like this sudden like burst of flames, and through several manholes and like holes there's like a massive like burst of fire, and there's like this very loud groan of metal as the entire structure starts collapsing on itself with thunderous roar that everything else gets deafened. Like you can hear nothing but the sound of hundreds of tons of metal, concrete, and steel beams falling down like a house of cards. And that event of destruction will be heard and has been heard by everyone within the upper city. Definitely, I would say that echo is so loud that it reverberates through the like most of the city, most of the megalopolis that you are in. Okay, as for the epilogue thing, just to quickly I throw like the fate of some of the named NPCs. Some of it showed up already on in the session, and some of the events that caused their fates happened like either off screen during during the initial stages of the revolution. So Ivan had some close calls as it happened, but still managed to live. Roman, as was mentioned before, he managed to get the girl, and he also had some pretty close calls, and he might have gotten a scar or two, but he lived. Yeah, Tanya the same, got her life with Roman. Yeah, Milo became one of the couriers of the revolution and continues to help you out with like logistics, transportation, and whatnot. Kapustin, you found out later that there was a moment when when anyone hears that story, they will like, yeah, he died. He must have died, right? Nope. And I even remembered when I was making rolls, he failed dramatically his like skill check or whatever I was using first to determine their like situation, and then he rolled a motherfucking natural 20 on his saving throw.
As befitting Kapperstein.
Yeah, so drunkard luck. Yeah, basically he got a moniker of like drunk luck or something similar. Motherfucker lived somehow. Even he doesn't remember how.
Like, from what we heard, he stumbled onto a enemy patrol himself, and like, God knows what happened to him, but here he is now.
Yeah. As for Boss Lenny, his position and like stature got slightly weakened due to like the attacks, but he decided to throw in with the revolution, and he still remained dangerous. And out of the named mooks, Shao suddenly died, but Orlin managed to live on and rise up through the ranks. And that's for the fate of the NPCs. And you have managed to successfully ignite the fires of revolution, and now the planet is engulfed in like the fight for freedom and partially survival. Because you know, that's one thing to overthrow the government and actually like continue fighting in other cities to like convince like most of the population to fight, not like the large portion of the but most of the population to fight and like deal with the loyalists and whatnot. And the other will be to await the response from the higher overlords. But that's a story for a different time. Also, I don't think, seeing how the main campaign goes, I'm pretty sure the players will not meet your characters as NPCs. However, if they would have, I would say, because we are not using the homebrew stuff on the main campaign, so I would say that the toll of the revolution, like you have taken some toll during the like fighting the revolution all this time, so you are still like dangerous and whatnot, but you will not be like as powerful as NPCs if they have
Mhm.
ever met you.
I mean, I'd probably still be fucking terrifying to psionics, but
Yeah, but trying to like fit that into more of the vanilla stuff, not the like.
well,
There are
basically
unique gifts,
the only
but
homebrew stuff that I took were the foci. So my AC would be done by 2, well, it would be effectively done by 4, and I wouldn't have the Metasonics thing, and I wouldn't have the damage reduction thing. Still
yeah,
terrifying, just not as terrifying.
yeah. Okay, quick question because I know that Simon is tired. So, if you want to,
Yeah.
how do you imagine like if we are like, making epilogue? How like what's the scene for your character? How do you imagine that? And we can start with Simon and his wedge.
Pretty much being a not quite public spokesperson, but a guy that pulls some of the strings on the dark web to make sure that the revolution keeps going, that they always have support, and basically keeping a close eye on how they can free the rest of his hacker friends. So basically, business as usual.
Okay. Yeah, that never came into like a session, but I had an idea that maybe I would throw in a chance that the prisoners that were taken and the allies failed to break out, maybe they were like stored somewhere in the base or like around, but we might also decide that they have been moved elsewhere. So yeah, Wedge like continues to do that and like look for them to like break them free, basically like freeing political prisoners and like his like dark web supporters and whatnot. Okay,
So
that's cool. And
for
for Ivo,
Ivo, so he was effectively raised and trained in near isolation, just with like the scientists and other government people. So he really doesn't actually like people all that much. Surprise, surprise. So I feel like once his part in the revolution was done, he would probably try to find a ship and just leave. Because also being a trained pilot, like I feel like he'd want to go and explore after being basically cooped up his whole life, both before and after the escape.
yeah, finding a ship is like a different matter altogether because spaceships here are like serious business because it's like technically you could steal them, but that's the whole like another like can of worms. But yeah, that's
That's
cool.
Ivo's next adventure.
Yeah, that's cool. That this is like a goal for Ivo. But
He might
just
get hired on by someone with a ship or something like that.
out of curiosity, would you just go for explore, or would Ivo have this idea at all that he might try to look for this woman that he saw in his dreams? I probably not because
I would
as
say yes, probably that as well.
I was gonna ask that, but I remember that you mentioned that you do not know that she essentially helped you escape. But
But
I'd say that maybe she shows up from time to time in your dreams.
I say that, and Ivo knowing that he is a precognitic would probably indeed try to search for her.
Okay, makes sense. And also I
I
remember
want to
that
go find Mercy.
yeah. Oh, she's not in a happy place in her own faction. Because she's like native born from the High Sky faction, so she's like natural flyer. Because their like altered humanity race is also all of them are natural flyers. That didn't came up into the combat itself, but yeah, they do not exactly like what she did during the previous war that happened several like 15 years ago. And yeah, she's like essentially a prisoner in her own home or something along those lines.
Hmm.
But yeah. Oh, also, I remember that yeah, the characters would not be as terrifying because the main vanilla campaign also doesn't have like the increased number of skill points. So that's also
True.
the case. Although,
I've played, however,
yeah,
I've played a Scion before, and they're still fucking terrifying.
I mean, yeah, if you like build it properly, then sure. Okay, that would conclude this mini campaign.
I will say they're not all powerful like my last Stars Without Number GM thought. It's just I am very good at managing my effort. So it seemed like I was like just able to do everything. I was just careful about committing stuff for the scene and stuff like that.
I mean,
Not committing stuff for the day too much.
to be fair, as a heroic character, you are pretty much supposed to do a lot of things at once, so it makes sense
Oh yes,
for the characters to have more
I took
resources.
advantage of that more. But like, this is just a normal, not heroic character. It's like I think my effort maxed out at 4, and I used 2 of it for my telekinetic armor and telekinetic weapon, which
Okay.
made the rest of it tough.
Just want to reiterate, it was fun playing with you guys again.
Yes, it was.
I will not lie, I have some ideas for other side stories, however, I would like to have one weekend where I don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. on Saturday, so
That's fine.
I will
And if
definitely
you want a different time, that's also fine.
I will definitely be making a break.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to keep you more, Simon, so
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to sleep.
yeah, have a good day, have a good day, have a good sleep.
Bye.
Yeah, later. Yeah, I mean, I do have some ideas. One of them is like essentially like an idea that we're gonna like try to use vanilla move actions and or rather just vanilla move action 1 and have like a regular map and essentially play a dungeon crawl of base fighting the necromorph XPs, but that's that's for the future.
Well, if they're necromorph XPs, then obviously I need to play an engineer.
Yeah, because essentially this whole sector had 2 planets with sealed menace stacks, and I started thinking, okay, what makes sense? So in one case, I made this whole backstory that the sector around 750 years ago during the Golden Age was fighting against essentially tyrannids, like a space-eating locust of like bugs, and and one sealed menace is essentially like the primordial organism, like the ultimate life form from those tyrannids that was experimented on. That's still fucking alive down there and try to regain power. And the second sealed menace was essentially like the unity marker and the whole alien shebang of turning people into fucking necromorphs. So that's still in play for this sector.
So it's basically Tyranids and aliens that fucked with Tyranids turning people into them.
Yeah, something like that.
I still love my one that I generated of very cannibalistic mercenaries.
Yeah, actually the planet has Furies. Yeah, there's like one planet with tags of anthropomorphs, and I essentially make them like, yeah, Furies, like
Yeah,
not
like
even faunus, just like straight up humanoid animals like cats and whatnot. And the second tag, it's hive mind.
oh god. I don't know what's worse, a hive mind or mercenaries who want to be paid in the flesh of their enemies. It's like, we hired these mercenaries. How much did they pay? They actually didn't ask for that much, just enough to like. We did the math, and it's almost just enough to like support themselves, like buy ammo and buy ammo refills and repairs and all that stuff, kind of thing. What do they do for profit?
They eat people.
Switch to battle. It's like, oh god, they're eating them. Why are they eating them?
Yeah, it's like how much do we owe you? Like, we don't get paid in coin. And what do you use? In flesh.
We take our payments in flesh. Well, we do have some slaves. Slave meat is not good enough. Give us your rich. We need some fat in our diet.
Eat the rich. I might like return to the idea of like in the past, like fighting, doing a mech combat, because I did that one thing, but that essentially turned into more like teaching people how to play as well, and neither me nor players were proficient with English, so we didn't do all that much during the session.
I will say again, Matt, I know I said this a lot way back when. Your English is still better than a lot of people I've met here in the US.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't. I mean, they were not exactly proficient. I mean, like not native. Oh, in that case, perhaps that's
Yeah.
what I was looking for.
Like, even there are native English speakers that are complete shit at our language. My god.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen college grade papers that should not be college grade papers, in my opinion. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, that essentially make you want to throw up a little bit.
That and
Vomit in mouth, that kind of thing.
and ask why the person, like how did they pass English in high school even? Well, I know how they did that because our school system is terrible, but it's like, how'd you get past English 101 again?
Yeah, I heard some things about. I mean, a lot of things about the United States, like healthcare, education. It's like.
So, the main issue with our like education for kids is the whole idea of no child left behind.
Oh, I get it. So instead of trying to pull people up, they bring like. Yeah, because if you try to like equalize it, you equalize it lower instead of higher.
Yes. And so while they do eventually get like AP classes and whatnot, like for the most part, it's like or like, when did you first learn geometry?
Oh, fucking hell! I don't remember. I think it was like I mean,
Like,
pretty early, like not. I mean, how do you translate that? Primary school or?
how old were you?
God, I don't remember.
Roughly.
Like,
just roughly.
probably around 8 to 10 years old, maybe. But
Yeah.
it's like so long ago, I don't really remember.
Yeah. Let's see. Freshman in high school is 11ish to 12. So yeah, that's when, like, other than like the very basics of geometry, like perimeter and area, like my first geometry class was a freshman at high school, which is like 11 to 12.
Okay. I have a question regarding the game. Like, I apart from like some stuff that I changed, like we changed during the game, like how the exchange hits works. Does anything comes to your mind, like off the bat, what could use some work?
Yes.
Or what you would change?
So first, for the teleport thing, just make it a bonus to AC. That stacks things like the other one. Instead of being -2 to hit, enemies get -2 to hit, you just make it a bonus to AC. If you're gonna keep the same idea with it.
Sure. Okay. I was
It
like,
is less to remember overall that your AC is 2 higher, then everyone gets -2 to hit you.
okay. Okay. I can buy that. Yeah, logic. Yeah, I can.
Like, it's the same either way. It's
Yeah,
like the
okay.
same effect either way, basically, but...
Okay.
Second, melee attack option C. You hit, but you get -4 penalty to hit
Yep.
for the next melee attack against the targeted enemy.
Yep.
Alright, so I do that. I miss an enemy, and I choose that option. I get -4 to hit. Next round, I go to hit him. I have -4 to hit, and I miss. I choose option C. I hit him, and I have -4 to hit next turn.
Uh-huh.
You see the issue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I should just delete that, or is there a way to like adjust that?
I would say...
Because let me say, like, the intent for that was that you hit in a way that the enemy has an option to read your movement, and he has better anticipation of your next attack. That was like the idea in my head at the time.
I do understand that. What I would suggest is maybe for either for that one and maybe even the other ones is you can't choose the same option twice in a row. Except for maybe, like, obviously A and maybe B.
Yeah, I don't think I have to like add that to option E, because it's obvious that you
That's
get
true,
disarmed,
yeah.
so that weapon goes away. If you have like more weapons, then sure, you can like pick another one.
Mhm.
But yeah. Okay, so I think I will just...
Or just on the specific one, just so you can't pick this
Change.
one twice in a row, something like that. So it's still an option, but it makes it a detriment. So like next turn, you can't just choose to hit anyways, even if you miss with a -4.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. Yeah, I definitely have to like add ties regarding Nemesis. Because yeah, I would say that if the Nemesis is like equal or lower hit die than you, then the tie favors you as a PC. However, if the Nemesis NPC is higher hit die than the player, so like you're level 4, he was like level 6 hit die, so the tie would favor him in that case. So that's how I would like change that.
The other thing is, so we use second variative move actions.
Yeah.
Defensive. You noticed I always attacked first before I used that?
Mm-hmm.
The -2 penalty to hit melee attacks until the start of my next turn would only affect me if someone ran away from me.
That's true.
I don't know if you wanted that to be okay, so if someone was smart they could attack and then go defensive and not get the -2 to hit.
I mean, in some cases, I was like okay with people if they like remembered how to do actions in correct turn. However, I do see your concern, I guess, that
That's more on, because I know, like, if you want it, if people are intelligent enough to attack then go defensive, if they get less of a penalty than someone who goes defensive than attacks.
yeah, like the remembering in which like way you have to like do your actions. Like if I want, like if I put different enemies, I could have done it in a way that they first shoot you and they try to make a skill check to sneak so that you don't see them, and I could have also done that. But maybe maybe I'll have to like add. Because on the other hand, if you make a charge, like logic wise, it's obvious that you have to. Actually, not really, because that's not engage action.
The thing, I'd also put a limit on charge, like in Pathfinder, you have to move at least 10 feet. So just maybe just you don't have to be you can't be engaged with the enemy to charge him.
Yeah, that's a valid thing.
That's something like charge is the opposite of defensive almost, but you'd have to still use it beforehand to get the bonus.
Actually, I might even like rename it instead of like charge to like call it like if there's defensive, you can go like offensive, I guess.
And then it can be in melee with them
Yeah.
to do it.
And I will like have to change fluff wise for that.
I would maybe add a charge if you do that. Maybe add a charge back in. So like you can charge into and engage someone and get a bonus. Maybe
like
have it be a
like
bonus.
like a subtype of engage action.
Maybe have it be like a bonus to damage or something, but at minus to AC. Because that's the thing with charging is that
yeah.
if anything,
it makes it harder to hit.
It makes it harder to hit because the person will probably be expecting it. But if it does, it's gonna do more damage. Like physically, that's how it works. Like,
yeah.
I can see him charging me, so I know like what he's going to he's coming to attack me. I'm aware of this.
However, I need to change because there's like one foci I did that essentially gives already bonus damage to charge. Let me double check that. Focused charge. No, furious charge. Oh no, but that's equal damage to your stab or punch skill level.
You can always switch it to get a bonus to hit with the focus, and you have a bonus to damage by charging naturally.
Nah, it's
If you
more.
wanted to do it that way.
It's more hassle to like adjust the entire foci instead of like adjusting the move. Yeah, but I will definitely think about that. Okay, so that's that. Adjustment attack options. Okay, I think that's. Yeah, adjust dice.
Other than it's being horribly overpowered upon request, that's about what I can think of.
Alright, I definitely have some like more foci in mind to add, but that's probably a whole new category just for like heroic characters, like how they can like get improved fray die, they can like basically do the whole thing when you can like have fun a little bit with like adjusting and changing the heroic mechanics in specific situations and for a character
you
like
get 2 free dice instead of 1.
Maybe that, or just like once per combat at like level 1 of foci, the damage you roll is applied straight instead of calculated.
Yeah.
So that's also an option. Anyways, I would love to talk more, but I think I have to go for now, eat some breakfast.
Yep. I do as well, so.
Yeah, again, thanks for playing with me. I hope you enjoyed this session.